The sun hung low over the jagged horizon of Blackthorn, Nevada, casting long shadows that stretched like accusing fingers across the dusty Main Street. Caleb Warwick rode into town on a horse as weary as he was, its hooves kicking up puffs of red earth that clung to his worn boots and faded duster coat. The year was 1887, a time when the Wild West was taming itself, but Blackthorn resisted, clinging to its lawless roots like a thorn in the flesh. Caleb had once been the law here, the sheriff whose badge gleamed with the promise of order amid chaos. But that was before the stagecoach robbery, before the ambush that left 3 good men dead and Caleb branded a coward, or worse, a traitor. Framed by whispers and lies, he'd been run out of town, his reputation shattered like glass under a boot heel. Now, he returned not as a hero, but as a gambler clutching a crumpled deed to the Blackthorn Saloon, won in a midnight poker game against a drifter whose eyes held secrets darker than the night. The saloon stood at the edge of town, a ramshackle sentinel guarding the path to the forsaken mines beyond. Its facade was weathered wood, splintered by years of sandstorms and neglect, with a sign that creaked ominously in the wind, Blackthorn Saloon, spirits served. The locals called it cursed, built atop an ancient Paiute burial ground where restless souls were said to wander, seeking vengeance on those who disturbed their peace. Caleb didn't put much stock in ghost stories, he'd seen enough real horrors in his 35 years, bandit raids, barroom brawls, the cold stare of a hanging judge. But as he dismounted and tied his horse to the hitching post, a chill ran down his spine that had nothing to do with the cooling desert air. The doors swung open with a groan, revealing a dim interior thick with dust and the faint scent of stale whiskey. Broken chairs lay scattered like fallen soldiers, and the bar mirror was cracked in a spiderweb pattern, reflecting fragments of Caleb's grizzled face, deep-set blue eyes, a jaw shadowed by stubble, scars from knives and fists etching lines of hard living. He stepped inside, boots echoing on the warped floorboards. The place was empty, save for the ghosts of laughter and gunfire that seemed to linger in the air. Caleb set his saddlebags down and surveyed his new domain. The deed was legitimate, or as legitimate as anything won in a game of chance could be. The drifter had folded on a full house, muttering about the saloon's curse as he handed over the paper. "It'll eat your soul, Sheriff," he'd said with a toothless grin before slipping into the shadows. Caleb had laughed it off, but now, alone in the silence, doubt crept in. He rolled up his sleeves, revealing forearms corded with muscle from years of wrangling outlaws, and began the arduous task of making the place habitable. He swept away cobwebs, righted tables, and hauled out debris, his mind wandering back to the events that had led him here. It had started with Jarek.